Hi, I'm Tom Pantley from Toscanos Cafe and Wine Bar in Puyallup, Washington. This is our restaurant. I love it this time of day because it's quiet and I can think of great new dishes for our guests. That's where we came up with the idea of ridiculously simple cooking. What is it? It's dishes that are ridiculously easy to prepare so you can do them at home, sometimes using combinations of ingredients that might seem a little ridiculous. Try these dishes out, and if you don't feel like cooking tonight, come to Toscanos instead. Today, our ridiculously simple dish is strawberry lemonade salmon. This is a great dish for you to do at home when you're trying to figure out how to grill a salmon fillet. This combines fresh grilled salmon with lemonade and strawberry Torriani syrup. People get really concerned about grilling fish. Is it going to stick? Am I cooking it too much? Am I cooking it too little? We've got 3 basic rules about keeping your fish from sticking when you grill it. Spray it down, cook it hot, and keep your hands off. We're going to take this piece of king salmon, and with the skin side, we're going to spray the skin side with pan spray. Spray it real liberally. We've got a really hot broiler grill. Put it on there, and you want to hear that sizzle. You want to see the steam coming out. You want to really get it seared really hot and fast. The more it sears, the less chance you get of sticking. We're going to add a little pepper, a little salt. We're not going to season the dish overly because this is a real simple dish with really simple flavors. Just the salmon and our sauce with the strawberry lemonade. As this sears, you're going to see some browning forming on the bottom of the salmon. The keeping your hands off part means don't touch the fish until it's seared completely on the bottom. That's going to seal the fish so it doesn't stick when you flip it over. After the fish has been on the grill for about a minute, if you look right down on the bottom, you can see it bubbling. There's a thin layer of fat between the skin and the flesh. And cooking it really hot like this, we're cooking off that fat and we're sealing in the meat so it'll be nice and moist when we're finished. If you look at the fish, you'll see a color change where it's shiny and bright up on the top. It's starting to get a little dull and darker down at the bottom. That means the fish is cooked on the bottom. It's still raw on the top and slightly cooked somewhere in the middle. So we're ready to turn it. Get right behind the fish, put a lot of pressure on the bottom of the grill with your spatula and flip it over. What you should end up with is nice deep grill marks into the skin. And now a little layer of fat has kind of worked its way to the top of the fish. As we flip it over, that fat's going to get cooked off and it's going to seal the top of the fish. It sounds really complicated, but it's really simple. Cook it really hot, leave it alone for about 3 minutes on that side so it has a chance to seal, and then flip it over. Now it's only going to take a couple of minutes on this side. We won't have the top of the fish overly seared, and so we won't have it real crusty on top. There's always a lot of debate as to how long to cook a piece of fish. Everybody's got a different idea of how done they want their fish. Chefs in restaurants usually like to eat their fish medium rare, but a lot of our guests like to eat their fish more well done. There isn't a right answer, it's how you like it. So how do you tell how your fish is cooked? A piece of fish is a lot like a steak. You can do the touch test and feel how firm it is. When I press in here with my fingers, I'm getting a lot of resistance. It's still soft and squishy. So that fish is about medium rare. Now, if you like medium rare fish, this is the time to pull it off. We're going to serve ours about medium, and we're going to wait just a couple of minutes. If you look down at the bottom part of the fish, you'll see how the flesh is sagged onto the grill and that's going to form those really tasty little char markings. We don't want to get it overcharred, but just a little. If you did a really good job of searing the skin, then it should be able to come right off. And you've got a nice clean piece of fish. Flip it over. And you've got nice sear marks. They're going to taste great, and they're going to be really good with our strawberry lemonade sauce. The ridiculously simple part of this dish is the sauce that we're going to make for the salmon. We're just using 3 ingredients. We're using frozen lemonade concentrate, a little bit of Torriani strawberry syrup, and a little bit of cornstarch. We're going to take that lemonade concentrate, put it into a hot pan, and get it bubbling. We're going to add about a quarter of a cup, or quarter of a can of water to that, just to thin it down a little bit. And we're going to bring that to a boil. So go to the store, buy the lemonade concentrate, go to the espresso stand, buy a double mocha, and ask them for a bottle of strawberry syrup. They'll look at you funny, but they'll sell it to you. We've got our burners on high. We want to bring this to a boil. We're going to do just a simple sauce thickening. The easiest way to thicken a sauce is with a little bit of cornstarch. So I've got about a tablespoon of cornstarch in here. When you're using cornstarch, always use cold water. So a little cold water. Stir it up so there's no lumps in your cornstarch. As the lemonade begins to boil, we're going to add a little bit of strawberry syrup. I've got about not even a quarter of a cup in there. And this technique is called cooking to color. Instead of measuring it, because I hate to measure, you find the color that you want it to be, and every time you make this dish, you get it that color. I want a little more strawberry flavor in it, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker. Okay, we're going to let that come to a full boil. And then we're going to stir while we're adding the cornstarch. It's always hard to tell exactly how much to put in, but as you're stirring it and as you're slowly adding the cornstarch, watch for the cornstarch to start trailing in the mixture. And you'll see little trails of white. That means it's beginning to thicken. Now take it off the heat. The bubbles will subside, and then when you stir it, you'll see if you got it as thick as you want. I want it just a touch thicker. So we'll bring it back up, get it boiling again, and add just a touch more cornstarch. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's really easy to do. And there you've got your sauce. After you thicken your sauce, let it chill in the refrigerator, and then just pour it into a little squeeze bottle. And after you prepare your salmon, you can just squeeze a little right over the salmon so you look like you've gone to cooking school and learned how to decorate plates. This glaze is going to add a light, tart, citrus, and strawberry flavor to your dish, and people are going to think you're a genius. As far as wines go for this dish, there really are no rules anymore. White with fish and red with meat doesn't always apply. Because this dish is so light, so lightly flavored, I would have a nice Pinot Grigio or a Sauvignon Blanc or even a dry Riesling. But if you're really a red wine drinker, Pinot Noir or even a chilled Italian or French rosé would be fabulous with this.